Hello, everyone. I can see numbers of participants slowly ticking up, so I will allow a few minutes for people to arrive. Welcome, everyone. We're going to have people joining from all over the world, so if you'd like to introduce yourself in the chat, maybe your first name and your country, please feel free to let us know where you're joining from today. We have Sriyashi from India. Welcome, Sriyashi. Pleasure to have you with us today. Tufal from Pakistan, welcome. Pam from Malaysia. Okay, this is lovely. People joining from all over. So, welcome everyone. My name is Christoph Walder. I am an international officer. I work in the international office here at the University of Sussex. And we are really, really proud to be celebrating 10 years as number one in the world in development studies. And we're having week-long celebrations with lots of webinars on different topics. And this webinar is all about the International Business and Development MSc here at the University of Sussex in the University of Sussex Business School. I have two speakers for you today. We have Professor John Luiz, who is Professor of International Management and Strategy, and we have our wonderful alumni, Lena. So without further ado, I'm going to hand over to John.
So good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. It's delightful to be here with you. And I'm going to be talking a little bit about the MSc International Business and Development that we have on offer at the university. And maybe just by way of introduction, let me tell you a little bit about myself. So I am a professor of international management and strategy at the University of Sussex. But I've also had many different roles. I've been a visiting scholar at UCLA, at the University of Macerata in Italy, Central European University, Berlin, Chile, and a research affiliate at Columbia University in New York many years ago now. So have a very international, I've had a very international career. And I mention that because I really do want to stress that you will be taught by, professors that have a wide-ranging background in areas that are relevant to this particular degree. Published over 150 publications and also do consulting work for various multinationals, public entities, NGOs, including doing work for various UN agencies, the African Development Bank, what used to be called the UK Department for International Development, and various other agencies, and have also lectured on programs all over the world. So that's just by way of introduction. Also just to say that my own research focuses on institutions, international management strategy, and emerging markets. In other words, I am mainly interested in the intersection of how institutional environments both impact upon multinational enterprises, but also how multinational enterprises themselves impact on the institutional environments, particularly in an emerging market context. So that's what my academic research and also my consulting work tends to focus on. So as I mentioned, we have a very deep expertise at the Sussex Business School in terms of international business and development. So you'll be taught by leading experts at the University of Sussex Business School, but also in our sister departments in global studies. And I'll talk a little bit about the intersection between, because I think this degree is particularly interesting because it cuts across different disciplinary boundaries and also across sort of institutional boundaries within the university itself. And I think that's really one of the strong selling points of this degree. We are one of the top centers in international business research in the UK. So we would certainly consider ourselves one of the top 5 international business research hubs in the UK. And as you know, in development studies, we've been ranked first in the world for development studies now for a number of years. And this really is a celebration of those two traditions. Within international business and within this degree, we have a particular interest in looking at how institutional environments in home countries, the impact it has on firm strategies, on multinational strategies, and also how these strategies then impact upon and interact with host countries' institutions as well. And then lastly, to say that, the department hosts regular research seminars delivered by distinguished speakers. So we have a very active research seminar series, which our master's and PhD students have access to as well. So there's a very rich tradition and a very rich sort of range of activities, academic activities that you can tap into at the school. So why study the MSc in International Business and Development? So I think for those who have an interest in broader development questions, but also who are interested in the role that international business can play in meeting those broader development objectives, I think this is the perfect intersection if your interests are sort of dual fold. So in other words, you're interested in broader development issues facing particularly developing and emerging countries, but you also have an interest in the role that multinationals can play within that. And it's very interesting if you look at, for example, the UN's SDGs, the Sustainable Development Goals. The UN itself has recognized that multinationals have a very important role to play. That if we are going to meet the SDG agenda, multinational enterprises are going to have to be part of that program. And I think what's also interesting is that firms themselves are recognizing the need that they need to balance financial returns with social and environmental responsibility. And so this degree really focuses on trying to prepare managers to address the practical skills that they will need to address global challenges, particularly at the intersection of the meeting both business objectives, but the broader development objectives as well. So who should take this course? Well, if you're already working in or are interested in working in an international business, so a multinational enterprise, or a development agency or an NGO, and are looking at moving into a future leadership role, I think this is the ideal degree for you. I also really want to stress that I think this degree is unique. There are many degrees out there in development studies or in international management, but degrees focusing on this intersection I think are very rare. In fact, to be perfectly honest, I don't know of another degree that does quite what we do at Sussex. Um, and um, and so just to reiterate, either if you are already working in these areas, or alternatively, if you're interested in moving into these areas, so you don't need to have prior experience, although a number of people who are on the program will have experience already in these particular fields. So the people on the program itself, we attract people from all over the world, all the way from Japan in the east, all the way to Colombia in the west in this year's cohort. And we have sort of people with very interesting um, work experience sitting in the class this year. So what do we look at in this degree? What you'll learn? So we explore the principles of international business and strategic management, but we do so through the lens of the UN's Sustainable Development Goals. So we do have another MSc degree at the Sussex Business School, which is the MSc International Management. So that's a standalone international management degree. So if you're just interested in looking at international management just from a firm perspective, that's the right degree. But this degree really looks at that intersection, the role that international business can play in trying to achieve the UN's Sustainable Development Goals. So it really brings these two things together. So international business, strategic management, and then the broader development agenda. And so we examine the impact that institutional environments have on strategies, on multinational strategies, and how these strategies impact upon and interact with host countries and their institutional environments as well. Because a multinational enterprise, an international business, by its very nature, is operating in different institutional environments, the home and host, and very often are operating across a range of institutional environments. And so the question really becomes, how do we as multinational enterprises, how do we both adapt to these different institutional environments, but also how can we be a force for good in these countries? Very exciting. We also have a consulting project where you'll design and deliver a solution to a real world business challenge. And I think Lena will talk about her experience of working on this last year. But this consulting project ranges from Airbus, a big multinational enterprise, to more localized businesses, but I think it's a really exciting part of the journey is this integrated consulting project within the degree, where you'll be working with a real client. You also benefit from our interdisciplinary teaching and research culture. Sussex has a very long tradition of being slightly quirky in the sorts of things that we're interested in, and the lens that we take. We've always been a university which has prided itself on thinking about big global challenges, and as a business school, from our very inception, we've always been a school that has been focused on how business can be a force for good. And you can draw on, within this degree, you'll be taught by leading experts from across the University of Sussex Business School, including SPRU, which is, again, one of the top ranked science policy research units in the world, as well as the School of Global Studies. And so you really will get experts from a range of different disciplinary backgrounds. As I said, this really is a degree about the intersection of the political economy of international business and development. So we'll be covering, everything from, broader development objectives, international business strategy, but also looking at the political, social environment within which business and development take place. And so we spend a lot of time integrating theories of international business and theories of development to examine their compatibility within a global context. And so the political economy approach that we use focuses on institutions as a subject in themselves, but also we look at how they impact upon international business and how they in turn impact upon institutional development. So how do multinational enterprises impact upon the institutional development in countries? And we explore how multiple actors, ranging from multinational enterprises, how they interact with non-business entities such as governments, NGOs, and supranational organizations in less developed contexts. So some of the questions we look at is, from a development perspective, why are some countries rich and others poor? Why? And we look at this both across and between countries. And then we also look at the role of international business, either in perpetuating this inequality or how it can be a force for promoting greater levels of egalitarian development. As multinational enterprises, if you think about big international firms, they have to, by their very nature, they have to adapt to different institutional environments. And very often when you're looking at developing country contexts, these are contexts which often are characterized by economic dualism. What we mean by that is, that's the contrast between the formal and the informal, rural versus urban. Very often extreme wealth and extreme poverty coexisting. There might be areas, I don't like the term voids, but the literature talks about institutional voids. So this is where there's either sort of missing institutional architecture or something doesn't work the way in which multinationals expect it to work. And so how do you adapt to doing business in those sort of environments? And potentially, does it actually offer an opportunity to build more inclusive markets? Information voids, so where there are information asymmetries, infrastructural voids, where there's sort of, where their physical infrastructure or the social infrastructure may not be up to scratch. How do you adapt to doing business in these sort of environments? And we asked the question both in terms of how multinationals can adapt to this environment, but also how they can be a force for development in themselves. And so that's an important element here of this particular degree. If we look at the actual structure of the degree, so the core modules, so these are modules that are compulsory. In the first semester, you start off with the two big modules are the international business module and the introduction to social development. So they are the sort of two big anchor modules where you'll be introduced to, in the international business, theories of international business, and then issues around social development. And then this is really then brought together in a module called Business Activity and Sustainable Development. So it really acts as a bridge between those two elements. In the second semester, you'll do applied research methods, industrial and innovation policy, and then a module that I teach called the Political Economy of International Business and Development, which again tries to act as a bridge between the international business and development, but now using a political economy lens as well. And then you've got a dissertation and a consulting project. So you have the option of either just doing a dissertation, so this would be a traditional academic dissertation, or you can do a consulting project, which I've mentioned, where you work with a real company like Airbus, and then a dissertation on top of that. And then in terms of optional modules, again, in the second semester, you can choose from a range of options, including energy and development. So in fact, Sussex has the leading experts in the area of energy economics and energy development, I think some of them in the world. Also looking at fair trade, ethical business, and new moral economies, non-market strategies, managing economic instability, managing intellectual property, or social entrepreneurship. So you can see that there's a fair spread of options that you can tailor to your particular interests. And these are offered by the business school, by SPRU, the Science Policy Research Unit, and by the School of Global Studies. And with all of these modules, you'll use real case studies from all over the world. In terms of career options, there are a range of career options that are available. Obviously, working within a multinational enterprise. Oops, sorry, let me just turn that off. Working within a multinational enterprise, and small and medium-sized enterprises that have a sustainability orientation, international social enterprises, international development agencies, international NGOs, consulting companies, which have a particular focus around the SDG framework, as well as government organizations that are monitoring the delivery of the SDG framework and policies. In terms of entry requirements, I'm not going to go through this in any great detail. I'm happy to take questions, but you can find all of this online. But here you'll see the IELTS, the English language requirements, as well as the degree requirements. What I will just say is that your qualification can be in any subject, so it doesn't have to be in business or in development. And the idea really is that it's focused on people that have an interest in this area rather than necessarily already having having studied this previously. We also provide you with a lot of support in terms of employability. We have group and one-to-one sessions available from our careers offers. We have guest speakers and a number of resources that are available to boost your employability. We also have guaranteed internships. This is a new thing which has been introduced from this year onwards. And so this is optional, but it is available to all students. And these are part-time and really are structured so as to fit around your timetable. We also recognize that a lot of people are interested in building a more entrepreneurial mindset. A lot of the people who register for this degree are interested in social entrepreneurship. And in fact, we have a long tradition in terms of promoting entrepreneurship within the university. We also have various competitions that you can participate in, including a contest that we run in partnership with the University of California, which is called the Big Ideas Contest, where students get to put forward ideas that potentially then get sponsored by venture capitalists. And in fact, one of the students this year made it to the top 8, which is very exciting. There's support afterwards in terms of after you graduate. in terms of the careers and entrepreneurship team. So you remain, you continue to have access for 3 years after after you graduate. And so lots of support that is available. And particularly with this MSc as well, hopefully Lena will testify to that. It is quite sort of a hands-on sort of degree. The professors, I think, take a lot of interest in the students. I certainly trying to maintain sort of contact with students, throughout, because I like to see what's happening in terms of their careers and so forth. Scholarships are available. Again, you can find these online, and there's a link here. But there are basically, if you are a previous Sussex graduate and you're coming, so if you did your undergraduate at Sussex and you're returning to do the masters, there are unlimited £3,000 scholarships. So that's basically guaranteed. We also have unlimited scholarships for applicants from Bangladesh, Egypt, Kenya, Nepal, Nigeria, Pakistan, Sri Lanka, Vietnam, and we have unlimited £5,000 scholarships for applicants who are from Turkey and India. If you're not from one of these countries, we also have a limited number of scholarships for international master's applicants with exceptional academic achievement. And then we have a limited number of £3,000 scholarships for those who are active environmentalists, bringing about real world behavior. But there's also a lot of other scholarships out there, and we've had a number of very successful applicants, for example, on the Chevening program. But again, you can find all those details online. So why study at the business school? I think it's just, as I said, I think it is unique. From its very inception, it's always been interested in the role that business can play more widely rather than just focusing on business for profit. And so I think that is unique. We offer a very international experience, a very inclusive environment, and we are, by the design of the business school itself, highly interdisciplinary in our teaching and research. We are a top-ranked school. We've, for example, been ranked #1 in the UK for annual research income. Now, this is very important because what it basically tells you is that the academics, the professors who are working at the business school are attracting major research funding from major corporations, from major governments all over the world. So you know that you're going to be taught by experts with real-world experience. We are first in the world for development studies, and we rank very highly in a range of different rankings. We are an accredited business school, and let me just say that it really is very important that you do your, wherever you choose to do your master's. Of course, I'd like you to come to Sussex, but wherever you do it, make certain that it is Equus and Amber accredited. These are two of the most important accreditations. We are also a member of Prime, which I think, again, reinforces our commitment in terms of responsible management education. We have a lot of student support services. There's a lot of, our campus, I'll talk about this in a moment, but we have a beautiful campus, and it really is a residential campus. It's very green, it's very beautiful. And you have access on campus to a range of activities, ranging from social activities, sport activities, and anything else that you may need to support you during your studies. Our location, so we are located on the outskirts of Brighton. So we are south of London, so it's about a 1 hour. So, you can think of us as sort of London by the sea. So 1 hour south of London, we are located on the coast. We are We have a very green residential campus, although I noticed we took a picture here of the campus in winter when the trees weren't green, but it's a very green campus. And we have a train station right on our campus. It's 10 minutes away from the Brighton city centre and 30 minutes away from Gatwick Airport. So there's a train station in Gatwick Airport, and so that makes it very convenient. And we are located in the South Downs National Park, which is this huge national park, very green, and with wonderful sort of hiking activities that are available to you. Brighton itself, I'm going to get the numbers slightly wrong, but I think it's a city with a population of sort of just under 300,000 people. It's a vibrant city. It's famous for its culture and inclusivity. It's a slightly quirky place. It's interesting. It's unusual. The lanes, we have this lane areas where you will have lots of independent, quirky type of stores, and you're not just going to have sort of the mainstream, the mainstream high streets. It really is a fascinating place. And in fact, we're about to go into the Arts Festival here, which is the largest arts festival in England. For those of you who are football fans, the Brighton and Hove Albion Football Club, their stadium, in fact, is a 5-minute walk away from us. So they're across the road from us. And as you all know, they compete in the Premier League. And at the moment, I think are number 6 in the Premier League. So even if you're not a Brighton supporter and you are a Man United or Liverpool supporter, you will get a chance to go and watch them at the stadium in Brighton home games as well. And then that's sort of wrapping up from me. I'm now going to hand over to Lena, and then we'll open it up for questions. So Lena, can I hand over to you? Let me just say that, so Lena was a student on the MSc program in the 24-25 years. So she graduated last year and was an excellent student. So Lena, I'm going to hand over to you.
Thank you, John. I hope my voice is clear. I apologize, power just went out. So, yeah, I hope the
All
connection is
clear.
stable. Great. So that's one of the challenges you're gonna experience and learn about the developing world throughout this degree. So I'm Lena. I'm currently based. Thank you, John, for this introduction. And I just want to jump and say that what really attracted me to this program was the intersection between international business and development. So my personal background is engineering, but I worked in the development field for a couple of years before this degree. And I was always eager to learn about the role of business from my engineering background and also how I can, combine both with the development work because I was very interested in. And I found this very unique program that University of Sussex offers that John explained fully. And I was like, thinking and remembering the beautiful memories that I made while he was speaking. Actually, any educational program, in any educational program, you will learn something, but it's up to you to seize these opportunities. It's up to you to shape it the way you would like. And what really makes University of Sussex and this particular program very interesting is that it really throws so many opportunities towards you. So you will, by default, have to grab something and shape it to benefit your own career. So what I will start speaking about is um, I I learned so much, and when I was reaching my dissertation phase, I was like confused, but in an interesting way because I learned so much and I wanted to apply so much. And I was like, what should I do right now? Like, what should I work on? And what really made a difference was the consultancy program that John mentioned. So I highly recommend anyone taking on this program that you should truly do this consultancy program because throughout the courses, the modules, you will learn the theories, you will learn the literature, and also you will be practicing practical case studies. You will be applying real world problems, but at the same time, it feels like a simulation that prepares you for the actual test, which was the consultancy program. So for myself, I have done the consultancy program with Airbus. It actually still feels surreal because, like I came to this with an expectation, but they really went beyond what I was expecting with this opportunity. You will work as a consultant, a team of consultants. So you will be applying teamwork, you will be applying consultancy strategies, you will be prepared step by step. So even if you don't know, even if you have never done this before, like myself, you will be guided by the professors and the careers team step by step on how to help the company or enterprise you're working with. So, we worked together in a team. We were handled a task, which is basically reducing the environmental footstep of Airbus, and it was up to us, basically how we solve this problem that they had or challenge that they had. So together with the team, we tried to integrate the sustainable development goals and how all of the theories and the things that we learned throughout the modules to provide this consultancy. So we ended up with focusing on three different streams: value chain and supply chain and the human resources aspect, and also like the energy aspect of Airbus, and we ended up providing a solution that integrates AI, sustainability, and a full-on let's say answer to their questions, which was truly inspiring for me, that helped me start thinking of what I really like and what I would like to pursue. So this inspired on to do my dissertation on AI capabilities and circular economy transition in the MENA region for small and medium-sized enterprises. Um, so yeah, after being confused for a while, opportunities will help you shape what you really want to do because you get to actually experience it. Also, like what was really fun, the fact that all of our professors were leaders in their fields, and people who will always work on different research and different opportunities. And what was great was that they were always supporting us and mentioning these opportunities. So in one of the modules, we also worked on like a policy outlook. So it was by the time of Trump presidency and the new decisions that he shared. So we were like, in the moment, in the rush of the time, we were like trying to come up with a new piece, like raw information, like you don't really have so many things to be backed on. And we were like working hand on hand with our professor. So it was like really fun, and the rush of the moment was carrying us, but it was really interesting. And also at the same time, the fact that it's a truly diverse university. Like, I don't think we have two people from the same country in the class. Like, the fact that you feel like you travel the world just by sitting in the class was truly the cherry on top. I was learning so much, and the fact that the modules and the classes were managed in a way that we were somehow leading the conversation, leading how it flows was very, very, very enriching for myself. Um, so I remember like I learned about a lot of similarities with with the countries in Africa and also like in countries in the East. And I was like, wow, I never thought that we share similar challenges and similar concepts. And yeah, again, it comes to the person and how they take this opportunity, and that they should come with an open mind to this diversity and to these opportunities. What else? So, with all of that, I feel like this degree helped me develop confidence in myself. So after studying, you come to the fact that you need to conquer the world and take on real working opportunities. So before I used to feel a bit shy, I would say, in applying to different roles and different opportunities. But honestly, since I was so empowered throughout the year and so much encouraged by professors and the careers team. For myself, I decided to uh, take on the initiative and start knocking doors, basically. So I reached out to different companies, to different organizations, offering my experience. And just after graduating, I got the chance to do another consultancy opportunity with a law firm actually that wanted to transition some of the work more digitally. So I was the consultant supporting that transition. And it was like a rewarding feeling, to be honest, because I got to again apply what I learned right away. And after that, I wanted to, because I was going back home, I wanted to look for opportunities in the development field as well. So I started reaching out to different organizations, and basically uh, I emailed a bunch of people that I found on LinkedIn, just sharing what I can add to their program, and trying to find, some challenges from the programs that they share, and offer how it would be interesting to work on that and on this. So through that, I got the chance to work with UNDP, and I am now a project coordinator with UNDP Libya. And I support their political dialogue program. I specifically work with the economic consultants, trying to focus on the economic situation in Libya and how policy and politically the integration basically between all of these aspects. Yeah, so again, it just comes to you actually to use the opportunities that University of Sussex throw to you and, just shape them the way you want. And I don't know, I get so excited when I'm talking about my experience. I hope I did not make
Oh, no, no, no.
everyone.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Lena. I think this was really interesting, and I'm actually also just so excited for you because I think, going to work for one of the UN agencies, especially in the UNDP, which I think really looks at it's exactly the sort of agency that works at the intersection that we're
Yes.
interested in. So this is absolutely perfect. So really happy for you. And I must also just say, she was one of our top students last year. So she's being very, very modest about this. But
Yeah.
yeah,
Fantastic. Thank you so much for sharing, Lena. It sounds like you had a great experience both at Sussex and since. So we're really, really delighted and we appreciate you taking the time to come here and share with everyone. Um, we'll be wrapping up very shortly, but there is an interesting question in the Q&A. I'm not sure if you've seen it, John. It says, Dr. Louise, I have a pilot-ready project plan about food security during national disasters. Could something like this be developed into a research project here? I'm an MSc in Global Supply Chain and Logistics Management offer holder, global sourcing experience in electrical projects, MBA, BSc. That's from Faraz. Oh, you're on mute, John. You're on mute.
there we go. Am I unmuted?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Excellent. Okay. So the answer is yes. Okay. So what we so it's definitely something that you can work in. So a number of students actually end up doing so there's a project at the end, and a number of students end up doing something which is sort of project ready, because in effect, you can design your own project. So we have projects that you can work on, but you can also design your own. We work with you on that. And so, for example, we've had students who come to the program from development agencies already, for example, the Japanese Development Agency, and that they will then work on a project that related to their agency. So that's absolutely that's exactly what we're wanting students to do.
Fantastic. Thank you very much, John. Um, so that's all we have time for today, but I'm just going to be putting two links in the chat. So the first link is the course for the page, is the link to the course. Um, let me.
And for us, just whilst that is happening, let me just say that I think your background is really interesting, and I think again it's a sort of we like people with interesting sort of backgrounds and so forth. Even listening to Lena, she came from an engineering background. These intersections, I think, make for really interesting areas to explore. And so just you'll see there the links to the degrees, but also if you have questions regarding fees, how to pay, and so forth, all of that is available at those links.
Definitely. All the entry requirements, the fees, and all the information about the guaranteed internship, which John mentioned, that's all in the first link. The second link is for the Chancellor's International Scholarship. This is a £5,000 discount for applicants with excellent academic background. So if you want to apply for that, you will have to move fast because the deadline is the end of the day on the 30th of April. So you have 2 or 3 days left to apply. And this is for top applicants with top grades. So we usually say a first or 85% or above. But yeah, I would, if you have strong academics, I would definitely encourage you to apply for this. And that's all we have time for today, unless you have anything you want to say, John.
No, look forward to seeing the applications. And oh, sorry, so Mohammed, I just saw your question. So it is on site. So this is an on-site program.
Yeah,
But feel free to reach out, and we look forward to seeing your applications.
There are email addresses on the web page I shared. So if you have any follow-up questions, you can find them there. And let's just say thank you again to Lena. Thank you so much
Yeah.
for coming and sharing your experience. It was really, really valuable.
Yes, thanks, Lena.
Yeah, thank you. And thank you, John, for your presentation. Really nice to get your take on the course. And hopefully some of the people in the webinar today will be joining you in September. And everyone, you will get the recording of this webinar by email in the next couple of days. So if you missed anything, you'll be able to catch up, no problem. All right.
Cheers,
Thank you,
everyone.
everyone.
Cheers.
Bye.
Bye bye.